Do you know where your taxpayer money is going? Are international organizations actually doing what they promise? Hi, this is Josephine, and welcome to the People's Perspective, where we dive into the complex world of social and political issues. Donald Trump has been president for 21 days now, and oh boy, he has shaken the US and the world around it. And strangely, he keeps fulfilling his promises like no other politician in the history, and even going beyond them. Like, you remember when he said he would buy Greenland, but instead he bought the Gaza Strip? Amazing. But jokes aside, one of his latest actions was shutting down the Agency for International Development, opening Pandora's box. This week, we've been flooded with reports about the most ridiculous projects, grants, and funding come from this organization. So let's think about it. What do you imagine this organization actually do? When you hear US aid or similar names, what comes to your mind? Me, when I was small, I used to have a picture of these brave people working hard in developing countries, fighting poverty, helping refugees, and supporting those in need. Right? Right? That's also what many now ex employees and politicians are screaming about, that shutting down this organization will cost lives because their work is so essential. But is it really? Last week, we found out, for example, USAID founded a project to help Pepsi change its approach to engaging with farming communities. Yes, a $1 billion company received over 9 million to rethink its attitude toward the communities that actually grow real food, not just making chemicals to feed us. A worth cost, right? But apparently, instead of on enforcing laws that require corporations to respect the environment or putting high fines on them if they don't, we should just take millions in taxpayer money and fund a project that might work, as long as invoices are properly accounted for. Let's just pay Pepsi to be nicer to farmers. Even more concerning is USAID's funding of journalists and media outlets. You probably believe your journalists are independent working in the interest of your community. But let's take a closer look. One organization, Internews Media, reportedly received almost $500 million from US aid. They proudly claim to have trained 70,000 journalists in 2024 alone, produced 6,200 hours of radio and TV programming reaching 200 million viewers and 300 million listeners worldwide. They also boast about influencing the adoption and implemented unfair media laws and policies in 21 countries. Sounds great, right? Ah, yes, and don't forget this 8 millions to Politico. Not long ago, we discussed the World Economic Forum, the annual meeting in Davos where the most powerful people on the planet gather. And that's fine. They have the freedom to meet, but one would assume that WEF and its stakeholders aren't in need of international aid, right? Right? Well, not according to US aid. Check out WSF profile on the USA spending website. It's so ridiculous that actually it's funny. They are registered as minority owned non-profit. I know Swiss people are a minority in the world, but usually they don't get special treatment. Yet here we are. And you might say, Josephine, why make such a big deal? They received only 19 million. Well, I wouldn't call 19 million only, but even that was shocking because when I did my own research, the numbers didn't add up. So I click view awards to this recipient. And suddenly, the total was over 68 million. And when I researched When I searched for WEF grants in the general, I found over 71 million awarded. And there is this minus amount. Did WEF have to pay money to the US government or pay money back? Strange. Maybe I'm just picky, but shouldn't an international aid organization be able to properly account for its own spending? Who am I to judge? What's the million here, a million there, right? We all know that millions of people around the world desperately need food, medicine, and shelter. That's not even up to debate. And most of us are happy to trust governments and the international organization to handle these issues while we focus on our own lives and families. It feels good when we drop leftover foreign currency into donation boxes at the airports, decorated with logos of humanitarian organizations. It feels good to see those same logos on the tents in refugee camps, providing that aid is being delivered. But I am glad we are finally seeing international aid organizations being investigated. It started last year with UNRWA and its ties to terrorist groups. Last week, the focus was on US aid. Now people are starting to examine their own national aid organizations. So, what's the moral of this story? What can we do about it? We could just enjoy poverty, as filmmaker Renzo Martins ironically suggested in his 2008 documentary about international agencies in Congo. If you want to understand what international aid looks like on the ground, watch Enjoy Poverty. The link is below, and it costs only $3 to see it for private use. At this point, we should accept that we are unable to save the world and simply respect our own hard money. Because before your $1 reaches the people in need, it passes through countless hands. And by the time it gets there, it's probably worth less than a penny. If you really want to help, here are some ideas. When donating abroad, try to give directly rather than through a massive bureaucracies where funds get diluted. Some websites like GoFundMe or something else are a good start. Maybe during your next trip to a developing country, seek out small local charities or orphanage doing real great good work. Get their contacts and make annual donation. Watch out for those costly international wires. Lastly, look around you. There are people in need, even in wealthy countries, or those who are already supporting those in need through their humble, often unpaid work. If you find value in this video, hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Like if you like it or unlike if you don't. And if you have something to share or you want me some cover some other topics, drop a comment below. I am uploading stories like this every Sunday, 7 p.m. Zurich time, so I hope we meet again. But for now, thank you for watching till the end. And as always, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, knowledge is the key.